Hello, hello, hi, folks. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. Welcome. I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com, where I help you look, start, and grow your side gig. Welcome. Jenny, how are you? I kept you up. I'm sorry. But this will be quick and it will be good. It'll be very quick. I'm going to introduce you to this Persian tradition, right? And it's a neat one because you can take this tradition and extract the principle of giving from it. As you're joining me live, let me know you are here. I won't know who's here, who's not here, unless you comment or throw some love, heart, hate, whatever you do. Then I know you're here. So make some noise, be loud and proud, if you would. I checked, I don't know why so randomly, I checked, and this is my 1604th live in a row. 1,604 lives in a row. So, yeah, this is, no, 1605. This is 1605. Last night was 1604. So that's 1,600 lives. So let's get into this tradition. And I haven't shared this tradition before in 1,600 lives. So what do you know? So we have a tradition that this whole drinking tea thing is not just with the English. I'm telling you, we got this whole tradition with the tea thing. One tradition that, well, this is not the one I'm going to talk about tonight, but there's one tradition that we have a tradition that when a guy wants to marry a girl, him and his family need to go to the girl's house and actually basically ask for her hand and permission, that kind of a thing, right? And if all goes well, this is a very old tradition, and if all goes well and everybody's in agreement with everybody, and then the girl, right, the bride to be, if you would, brings tea for everybody, fresh brewed tea. Okay, so that's one tradition, but that's not the one we're going to talk about, right? Thank you, 1605. Thank you, I appreciate it. I just saw that. Wakil, how are you? Welcome. Good to see you. So that's one tradition, right? But the other tradition is this. Tea is a big thing for Persians, especially after a meal, which is probably the worst time to drink tea. But after a meal, usually we do a tea, and the way we do it is with one sugar cube or rock candy, or some people have dates, or just blank, right? But if you're in a gathering and you're bringing tea, no, not usually, not in Persian tradition. There's really not a lot of people that I've seen do tea and milk together, but I've seen it, but not a lot. It's not that popular. So, but there's this tradition. So when you're in a gathering, so somebody brings tea for everybody. They usually got this tray, right? Like just like you bringing coffee for everybody. So you bring in this tray of teas, and you kind of start usually with the elder women, and then kind of work your way up. So what happens is this, and here's what happens. This is so cool. So somebody's, if you can imagine this, somebody's kind of kneeling down with this tray, right? And they got the tea cups on the tray. And the first person that they serve this to, they either take the cup for themselves or take a cup and give it to somebody else. That's very common, okay? Extremely common. Now, if you're polite and you want to be very respectful and go with the old tradition, what you would do is pick the tea and give it to somebody else, right? And obviously this could go on for a couple people, right? I mean, you're not going to do this for everybody, but just a couple people if they are around you, right? Now, what happens is that, no, not usually, yeah, with the elder woman usually. So what you do is, so if you're picking the tea for somebody else, and giving it to them, the person is kind of going to stay in front of you, right? Because you haven't picked up your own tea yet, right? So you're giving this tea to this person, to that person, to that person, you send one on the table for somebody else, or, you're kind of spreading it for everybody. So they're not leaving the tray from you, because why? Because you haven't picked up your own tea yet. But then there's the other scenario, if somebody's really not of old tradition and doesn't understand these things, what they would do is they would pick up a cup of tea just for themselves, right? Now, I want you to kind of imagine the two scenarios. Anthony, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Good to see you, my man. So I want you to kind of imagine both scenarios, if you would. So as long as you're taking tea and passing it out to somebody else, that tray is still in front of you. And as soon as you pick one for yourself, the tray is gone and moves on to the next, right? Well, take that principle and take a look at it in this way. Imagine this. Imagine that tray of cup of teas is just a blessing. Let's say you've been blessed with an opportunity. Let's say you've been blessed with wealth. Let's say you've been blessed with wisdom. You've been blessed with a purpose. Let's say you've been blessed, okay? As long as you pass this blessing on and share the blessing is going to keep coming to you. It's just going to be standing right in front of you. As soon as you keep the blessing for yourself and you're selfish about it and there's no sharing, it moves on to the next. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that how it is in life? Isn't that what they say? The good book talks about, hey, give first and then, right? Isn't that tithing? Or in a lot of the different religions and cultures, and even successful people, they always say what? Give to others first and then, right? So that as long as you're sharing that blessing, as long as you're giving it away, as long as you're blessing other people, that blessing keeps coming to you and it keeps standing in front of you. And as soon as you become selfish and non-sharing and holding everything to yourself, then you may be thinking, what happened to everything, right? So give. And I've heard so many stories. I'll share a couple of stories in the future lives, but I've heard so many like real life stories of people giving enormously and getting back, and it's real. It's out there and it's for real. So I thought I'd share that. Hey, you learned something about the Persian culture, drinking tea, and maybe you can take this principle and apply it in other places in your life where you see fit. With that, hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value from this. I appreciate you guys. Drop your thoughts, your drop your thoughts, your comments, your feedback below. Every time you talk about a topic, one a day, I talk with my upline. You talk about the same concept. See what I'm saying right now? It's like, wow. It's the law of attraction. That's awesome. That's so cool. You were talking with your upline about Persian tea? Gotta think about that. You gotta tell me more about that. So with that, drop your thoughts, your comments, your feedback below. If you feel like this was worthy of sharing, don't be shy. Don't be holding on to things. Share. tag a couple people or share it on your wall. Do what you got to do. Spread the love, you know. And with that, I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com, where I help you look, start, and grow your side gig. Signing off until tomorrow when we do it all over again. Much love.